Hello, welcome to budgeting class number 4. So today we will discuss how to attempt question tutorial question 9.1. Let's look at the question. So the manager of Siring Berhad asked you to prepare a flexible budget for the company. The following is the information from the company. The budgeted units at 75% is 15,000 units. The budget selling price per unit is 27 ringgit and the actual selling price is Rm25 ringgit. Here is the information of the budgeted cost at 60% and 70%. So the question that comes to our mind is 60% and 70% is actually at which level of production units? So raw material, labor, admin expenses, other overhead, manufacturing overhead, other operating expenses, all of these are costs. The actual cost of the company for the year ended 2015 are as follows. So the actual is at 80% level of production. 80% at which level actually? So the same cost applied here, and these are the costs, actual costs. So the question are required to prepare flexible budget for 75% and 95% level of production. And number 2, we are required to prepare performance report for the year ended 2018. So this is actually topic flexible budget. Let's look how to attempt the question. Roughly, there are 5 steps in order to attempt this question. First step, we have to identify units for all the percentage. In other words, it means at the percentage level, how many units are produced. Step number 2, classify all the costs. So all the production costs listed in this question should be classified, and the classification can either number 1, fixed costs, number 2, variable costs, number 3, mixed costs. Third step, formulate an equation for mixed cost item. As we have learned in topic number 1, when we have a mixed cost item, we have to use high-low method to identify variable elements inside the mixed cost. Then after that, we will insert the variable amount, variable cost per unit inside the cost equation, and we have to figure out how much is the mixed cost. Number 4, prepare flexible budget. Question required, we have to prepare flexible budget for 75% and 95% level of production. And the last one is to compare actual with budget. Not only comparing, we have to identify how much is the variance and evaluate whether it is favorable or unfavorable. So I'll show to you step by step from step number 1. Step 1. Identify unit for all percentage. So after you go through the question, you have to circle or identify all the percentage exists in this question. So we have 60%, 70%, 75%, 80%, and 95%. And within this question, there is one clue given to us under information A, which is 75% is at 15,000 units. So this is a clue given. Look at the table here. 75% is 15,000. It's a clue given to us. So with this clue, can we identify how many units produced at 60% level, 70% level, 80% level, and 95% level? In order to identify how many units produced at 60% level, we have to use the clue 15,000 units produced for 75%. So 15,000 divided by 75, we will get 1% how many units, and we will have to times with 60. Then we will get 12,000 units. 15,000 divided by 75 times 70. Then we will get 14,000 units. 15,000 divided by 75 times 80. We get 16,000 units. 15,000 divided by 75 times 95. We get 19,000 units. Step number 1 complete. Now let's go to step number 2. Classify all cost items. We have to be able to understand the characteristic of each types of cost based on cost behavior. So let's have a bit of recap. What is the characteristic of fixed cost? Fixed cost, the characteristic is at any level of production, the total cost is same. It's unchanged. Variable cost, characteristic is cost per unit is same. However, for mixed cost, it's a mix between fixed cost and variable cost. Total cost is different. Cost per unit also different. So in order to identify or in order to classify the cost, we have to calculate cost per unit. So in step number 1, we already identified 60% level of production is 12,000 units and 70% is 14,000 units. So we have to first calculate how much is cost per 1 unit. So for example, raw material is 90,000 from the question. So 90,000 here is for 12,000 units. So 1 unit how much? 90,000 divided by 12,000. You get 7.5. 60,000 for labor. The 60,000 is for 12,000 units. So how much? 1 unit. So 60,000 divided by 12,000 units, get 5 ringgit. So you do the same calculation for all the costs. See in the table here, you get 7.5, 5.75, 3, 5.06, and 2. Similar way, you will do the same for 70% level of production. 105,000 ringgit. This is for 14,000 units. So how much is 1 unit? So 105,000 divided by 14,000, you get 7.5 ringgit per 1 unit. So you do the same calculation from the raw material until other operating expenses. After calculating cost per unit, next stage is you have to do the classification. So first step, you have to identify is there and compare total cost 60% and total price 70%. Compare line by line. Is there any similar number? If there is no similar number, there is no fixed cost. Second, let's check whether there is any variable cost or not. The characteristic is the cost per unit must be same. So you compare now line by line cost per unit. So we identify raw material cost per unit the same, 60 and 77.5 ringgit. This is variable cost. Labor also same, variable cost. Administrative expenses same as well at 3.75, variable cost. Other overheads as well same, 3, variable cost. Manufacturing overhead is different. So this different is not variable cost. Other operating expenses is same, variable cost. The difference as I highlight in yellow here means it is a mixed cost. Now we are ready to do step number 3. In step number 3, we have to formulate equation for mixed cost item. Let's revert back from the calculation previously. There is only one item for mixed cost. So in step number 3, we just focus on manufacturing overhead. So remember, under step number 3, you have to conduct high-low method. Under high-low method, under manufacturing overhead, high 61040 minus C720 divided by high units 14,000 minus 12,000. So it is reflected here under this calculation and you will get 2.16. 2.16 here is a variable cost element. So now let's insert this variable cost element in the cost equation. Let's recap back. Cost equation, we will use a linear equation y equal to mx plus c. So y is the total cost, m is a variable cost, x is units, c is fixed cost. So 2.16 will replace m. That's what we showed in this calculation. Next, we choose the lowest from here. Total cost will be 60720 and units is 12,000. So we replace total cost y equal to 60720 equal to 2.16 times unit 12,000 plus C. So we have to identify how much is C. Here you use your mathematical knowledge and find out C equal to 34,800. So now we already know 2.16 is the variable cost and the fixed cost is 34,800. So we insert variable cost and fixed cost inside the cost equation. Becomes y equal to 2.16 x plus 34,800. Step 4. Prepare flexible budget. So the question requires us to prepare at 75% and 95%, which is 15,000 units and 19,000 units. We get this number from step number 1. So we list down sales minus all the costs equal to profit. In per unit column, we will insert all the cost per unit and selling price per unit. 27 here is the selling price, budgeted selling price per unit, and the rest all we insert cost per unit. Except for manufacturing overhead, which is mixed cost, we have to insert the equation that we formed. Now, our work is easy. We already have cost per unit and price per unit. We have 15,000 units and 19,000 units. So, in order to prepare flexible budget, each of these cost per unit and selling price per unit, you have to times with the number of units, which forms 405,000, 112,500, and so on. So in order to get profit, you take 405,000 sales minus all the costs. You'll get 19,000. Similarly, you will do for 95%. You'll get 33,400. Step number 5. Conduct variance analysis. So, in order to conduct variance analysis, you have to compare between budget and actual. So you should refer back to the question. If you allow me to go back to the question here, the actual cost is given for us at 80% level of inflation. Since we never prepare budget for 80% yet, so now we have to prepare the budget for 80% first. So copy back the cost per unit, selling price per unit equation times with the theory aspect or 80%, and we get profit. Now we can copy back the question and the actual. The only thing that you have to calculate sales for actual, you have to times with the actual selling price, which is results in 400,000 sales. Now we can compare between budget and actual. How to compare? You just compare the difference between line by line. So 432,000 minus 400,000, you get 33,000. 120,000 minus 121,600, you get 1,600. Okay, the difference you calculate from sales until profit. So in order to identify whether it is favorable or unfavorable, you should see whether it is income or expenses or cost. Sales, let's say. Sales, income. We want income to be the actual to be higher than budget. So look at actual 400,000, budget 430,000. So it's actually is lower. That's why the sales is unfavorable. Whereas the cost, you want the cost to compare actual with budget, the actual lower will be favorable. Actual higher than budget, favorable. And for profit, you are preferring or better when actual is higher than budget. See, in your 16,400, whereas budget is 30,640, it shows that it is unfavorable. Okay? That's all. Step number 5 means it is already complete the calculation. So that's all for today. See you in the next tutorial question. Bye.